Well, it's not funny anymore. I went from fun jank to angry jank.
Live from the new kingdom, it's the Our Big Dumb Mouth podcast.
Hey, yo.
Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike.
Hey, yo.
Joe and Grusch.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
Hey, yo, everyone. My name is Midnight Mike. Welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray. Burchett is over there on screen, hating this place. Nothing works here in 7 years.
Medications don't work. I've been here for 7 years.
I have been here. Coming up on 8. I should check those numbers.
Fantastic years. Oh, yes, we have a show for everyone out there. Hopefully, I don't know if it's a delightful show. I got to be honest, a lot of the news that I have for people, it's not good news.
Well, don't bring that crap here. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
It's the only kind of news that was going around today.
Yes.
It's like a lot of bad news, but we'll do what we can with it. Present the information.
Selective. So I do the same thing when I dig through news stories and I do it. I look at the morning of the show. I have to be a little selective because, to your point, I don't want to focus on just bad news.
Mm-hmm. I do have a mix. I put my headlines in the carrot shop. You can take a look at them, and a lot of it is, it's like, hey, this doesn't look too good, but there may be some bright spots in there, or at least some points of interest that we can focus on. We can settle our attention on those, but I don't know. We'll figure that out. The show will evolve as we carry on here. We do have, I think we got some Alex Jones clips of the week coming up. I think so.
By the way, I don't know if you saw it. I snuck a sound clip in there too.
Oh, let me download that first. Make sure I got that. And
you're going to want to put that right next to the other two with a similar name. Okay. It's not as good as those, but this was from a TV show from about 20 years ago.
A TV show from 20 years ago. I wonder if I'll be able to know the TV show or remember it once I hear
it's in the title of the clip. So
I will. Here we go.
Tippy top.
That's not bad.
Tippy top.
Tippy top. You have it as something IP, IASIP.
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Tippy top.
I'm not familiar with who said that on that show. But
that was Mac talking about the professional success his mother had working at Jiffy Lube.
Oh.
Tippy top.
Yeah. Tippy top success over there at Jiffy Lube.
Tippy tops.
So I'd say everyone keep your ears open for tippy tops, and we can collect and Mike can build an entire soundboard of just tippy tops.
Tippy top.
That's what we're working towards here. We're doing the important work here. Again, real quick before we get on to the rest of the show. So I purchased tickets to go see the Steven Spielberg blockbuster movie, Disclosure. Or is it
I assume right after the show, you are going over to get in line.
No, I purchased them. I'm going to go see it on Friday with my wife. I think there are showings on Thursday. I opted for Friday. And I'm hoping that some other listeners out there will also see it probably before the show on Saturday. And then on the Saturday show, extended phone lines, we'll talk about the movie. I know Grim from...
You better keep that spoiler free, sir.
Yeah, I will do my best. I'll just talk about the general concepts of the movie, and I'll do my best to not divulge any of the plot points that are, spoilerish.
So years ago, my dad, he was notorious. He would forget what movie he was watching or whatever, but he would always describe the movie based on like the ending or the spoiler or whatever, Like, for example, we were talking about Jaws a few weeks ago. He would say, "Oh, Jaws, that's one of the shark where they blow it up at the end." And you're like,
"Oh, right."
That's how he would describe every movie. So if you asked him about Disclosure Day, he would say, that's the alien movie where the such and such.
Yeah.
Oh, don't do that. So,
hopefully,
so be careful.
Hopefully, other people out there will see it. I know Grim from Cruising with Steak, he is going to see it, and he wanted to see if we wanted to have like a roundtable discussion. And I would love to hear other people's opinion about the movie. I know we're going to get some Steven Spielberg-esque storyline, but when it comes to the information, how it's presented, and maybe the overall theme, maybe we can comment on that since we are in the age of disclosure, apparently. It's all most of the cylinders are firing right now. Not all cylinders, but it's happening. It's all happening. And I was also thinking of a brand new parody song, just not but a few hours ago. And I thought maybe
this is the dawning of the age of disclosure.
No, this is okay. Do you know the song by Soundgarden, Spoon Man?
No. So,
well,
before you even say the name of the song, I don't know anything by Soundgarden.
Well, Soundgarden, they put out a song called Spoon Man.
Spoon Man?
A very popular song in I believe it was 1994. It wasn't in the 2000s at all. 1994. I think it was on the album Super Unknown. But I was thinking of a parody song. Fork Dude. Fork Dude. Now, you can take that, let your imagination go wild with that one, A lot of things rhyme with dude, maybe a little food or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if
I'm listening to that song right now. I don't think I've ever heard this song.
You've never heard Spoon Man? Come together with your hands. Save me?
Yes.
No,
It's great.
This sounds like generic grunge butt rock.
No, it's Soundgarden.
Like I said.
No, Soundgarden, one of the best grunge bands that have ever
They're interchangeable
grunged.
with Candlebox.
No, they're not. Oh, my God, no.
I love it right now. Somebody's yelling at the car stereo.
Someone just drove off the road at that. You can't say that. You're going to really upset people. It upset me. I don't like when people say
I don't think
that.
I've ever heard this song before.
Okay, well.
What's their big hit? What's Soundgarden known for?
Black Hole Sun is probably their biggest hit.
Oh, okay. I've heard that one, but only like in, reference like TV use sort of thing.
Yeah, but my parody song title wasn't involving Black Hole Sun. It was Fork Dude as opposed to Spoon Man.
Okay, so I will write a song called Fork Dude, but to the tune of Black Hole Sun.
No, well, I guess. Do what you want. Do whatever you want.
Actually, I was working on one last night that if I can get this completed before this weekend, it's a good one.
I gotta say, I am not happy with the new Suno 5 and 5.5. I'm not getting the same results I was getting last year. At least when it comes to song structure and quality, they have degraded. They have decided to focus on polish of songs as opposed to actually interesting like riffs or anything unique to like the rock genre. So I don't like it.
Do you think a lot of that has to do with them now signing all these licensing agreements?
I think so.
Universal and BMG and or BMI and whoever else, and just like that's limiting what the model can do.
It may. All I know is as they advance up into these models, the songs are becoming less unique and even more generic. I got some like interesting rock parts before, but now it seems like they're less focused on riffs and more focused on the voice, and not so much of an interesting like song structure or chords or parts like that. They've exchanged one for the other, in my opinion, that's not good rock and roll song writing. So they did something, but whatever. We're going to do Alex Jones Clips of the Week. Here we go.
That's the only reason I'm here.
Yep. Oh, my God, no, we're here.
That wasn't even the right one.
That was a very loud one. Here we go.
By the way, I was going to say I'm waiting for the Suno's Day in the Sun is over, and we'll get stuff from there's Udio and others, but it'll be some Chinese company that comes out with one that ignores all the licenses, and I will happily pay them money.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking for that Chinese piece of software, and I can't find it. They'd make a lot of money real quick if they could do that. Mm-hmm. But we'll go to this last Thursday, the 4th. Here we go.
Blah, 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 blah. Call me Hitler. I got a Lazy Susan in my bedroom on the nightstand. I had my mic on. I was telling him, throw the bubble wand up. Sorry. Start back over. I had my mic open. Mother effer, this better be some long game. That's ugly. I don't like it. Trump effed kids. Go out and shoot random, leftists.
Oh, wow. That was a quick one. Okay.
There it is. I love the idea that he has a Lazy Susan on his nightstand, clearly for his watch and his phone and all that. But I'd like to think that he's got a nice array of appetizers. He's got, a charcuterie going on there.
Yeah.
He's got a little thing of jalapenos just in case, you wake up in the middle of the night and you're like, I could go for a Reuben sandwich right now. Oh, just rotate this around. And
Well, he's one of the premier conspiracy theorists and broadcasters. He deserves it at this point. He deserves it.
I'd like to know what else is on Alex Jones's bedside.
He's earned it. He's earned it. Okay, we're going to go to Friday. Here we go.
This is crazy town. Absolutely bonker to the max. K, everything is really continuing to come to a head. What's that noise? Why the hell are they so loud?
I've been compiling more of his Foley work, and that one is going to go right in there. So here's some of the Foley work that I've compiled.
Did you get that? Well, there was the other one from earlier.
Which one? In the previous one?
Yeah, the one on Thursday.
Let's see. What was the Foley work there?
It was like the first one.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're right. Let me see here. Let me get that. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of.
Blah, 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 blah.
Kind of. I mean, it's not bad.
So you want him making nonverbal sound effects.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. All right, fair enough. I ruined that when you have to play the other one again.
That's all right. But this is spelled weird. You can't even, like. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect. That's great. I mean, I will eventually have enough sounds so I can do all the soundscapes and sound design for Star Wars. That's what I want. Right there is good. That's. I think it might be the Death Star blown up. Okay, right there. Yeah, that's when Darth Vader's choking somebody. No, that's a lightsaber. Totally right there. Yeah. That's when somebody dies.
That's the fanfare.
Yeah. Bloop. Bloop.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Alex, make the noise of one of those rubber or those spring-loaded doorstops.
All right, we're gonna go to Monday. Here we go. This is a long one.
Boy.
And it's got a big old ding-dong that wants to rape you. Here's Palantir's little bitty pee-pee. But they come here and they go, well, you got a degree from India. You can do brain surgery. No, you're never done a surgery. Here, hold my beer. They can't be helping with the jury to have groups of crazy, racist black people just running around screaming, we're going to murder you. Kill the crackers, murder them all, kill their babies. Oh, no, it's been declassified. It's Bill Gates. Oh, no, that's Bill Gates. Sorry. Oh, no, that's Google. Touch me, touch me. What's going on there? We could take 500 million Indians and we could all live in poop. What is that word? Teach me, guys. Look this up. I found a word. I don't know what it means. Treated as regulable. Regulable, meaning you can regulate it. Regulable.
Interesting. Okay.
Regulable.
All right, we're gonna go to Tuesday.
Come on out. Come on. Put the gun down. Come on. Drying paint has more viewers than that. Go ahead, Joe. You're on the air. Thanks. Sorry, I got distracted during the break. This is just full tilt boogie. We can go to the local gas station and have ice cream together. When this came in last week, I was like, what in the world? Why are we even doing a show? You son of a bitch, you're back on the Trump train? Your cell phone went out. I'm getting half of it. Can you try to talk right in your microphone? Excuse me.
Why does he equate the gas station with a place to get ice cream?
I don't know, but they do offer a variety of ice cream at certain gas stations, at least truck stops. You can get ice cream sandwiches, maybe a popsicle. You can probably get Jenny's ice cream here. Definitely, what's the big one? What's the big ice cream brand? Those two fat tubbos from
Isley?
Vermont. From Vermont.
Isley's? Oh, you're Ben and Jerry's.
Ben and Jerry's.
Oh,
I don't think either one of I think, isn't that company owned by like Unilever now?
Yeah, I think they sold out. Oh, I like the Alex Jones charcuterie board.
That's a Lazy Susan, sir.
Oh, it's lazy. I'm sorry.
An arrangement of savory snacks, including, as you know, steak, jalapenos, quesadillas. So all the things that he enjoys during the break, he can wake up in the middle of the night and just have a quick snack.
So he's going to wake up and gobble down a quesadilla and then go right back to sleep.
I was trying to gobble down a quesadilla during the break. Sorry.
He wakes
Which is
up.
exactly what he says when he goes back to sleep.
He wakes up and just starts pounding quesadillas and dipping. We got crackers over there. Is that bacon over there too?
No, that's salami at the back.
I see.
He has a little bowl of olives. He has some cheeses.
Okay.
A couple of selections of cheeses.
Interesting.
People in the chat are asking, that's tri-tip steak, sir?
Oh, okay. And he is drinking he's like washing it all down out of his InfoWars mug. Thermos. Yeah.
And I did have the enchilada. Spicy chili plate. Cheese enchiladas.
No chili on there.
Chili con carne. Large bowl of hot chili. And I went all whole hog back then. I also had their macaroni and cheese. Okay, I'm really getting hungry now.
We need to add chili and macaroni and cheese on that Lazy Susan. It's just overflowing. Things are spilling off the Lazy Susan.
You think he prepares it fresh every night?
Of course. He's not going to let stale food just hang around for 48 hours. I don't know. Maybe he will. I don't know.
It's just flies buzzing around. Damn it. Forgot my Lazy Susan.
All right. We got one more clip. Here we go. Wednesday. At least I think we do. Here we go.
Do you have taco?
Hello, everybody. I'm Hillary Clinton. Hello, everybody. I'm Kamala Harris. Good to see you today.
Hello, everyone. I love hot sauce and tacos. Hello, everyone. I'm Alex Jones. Good to be here with you today.
Hey, baby, I'm going to kill you, too. Yeah, kill them white people.
Hi, my name's Jasmine Crockett.
Hey, it's Fat Albert, everybody. My name Alex Jones.
How you doing, buddy boy? Good to be here with you.
I am here for the pussy, the white pussy. I am here for the white pussy. I don't like gonorrhea, and I don't like syphilis. I went ahead and just gave you a quick little bleep.
I would like margarita and tacos.
We love our Somalis. We love our Muslims, too. Oh, they're so good. Oh, they're so sweet. We're getting some of these interesting magic callers today. You're on the air. What are you calling in about?
Wow.
That was a blitz there at the end.
He loves to do impressions. My God.
And those are spot on.
Those are great.
I couldn't tell that wasn't Kamala Harris.
That was absolutely incredible. Yeah, he did a great job. There's no other way around it. He loves to do impressions.
I like when he did an impression of himself.
He did, but he also did him as like an English person.
How you doing down there?
Isn't that Hillary Clinton?
Yeah,
I love to do imitations, as everybody knows.
yeah, he does. He loves to do imitations,
As everybody knows.
as everyone knows.
I did notice there's a little bit, just a bit of similarity between his Hillary Clinton and his Kamala Harris.
Yeah, they're probably in the same milieu, same kind of dialect, and I think most of the impression is in the performance, and if you can perform that well, then it's going to sell it. It's going to put it over the top, as far as I know.
He's a world-class impressionist.
I see you got some Topo Chico on there on the Lazy Susan now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
To make sure he has his preferred drink there.
Yeah.
It's also
Almost knocked over my Topo Chico.
The lid's off so he can wake up and knock it over.
Yeah, easily.
Almost knocked over my Topo Chico.
You have the one where he does knock over his water?
Oh man, I don't know if I did. It's probably in the network drive. I'll see if I can do a long search.
It was
on
relatively recent, though.
Was it knock over?
Yeah, it was.
I knocked over my. Oh, you're right. It is. I knocked over my water. I'll find
He
it.
says, knocked over my water, something like that.
I'll find it. Well, until I can find that, we're going to move on and go through some news and all the wonderful things that are happening in this reality that we're currently occupying.
Do it.
Go back to work. All right. I guess I'll start off with some lighter news, some UFO stuff. We'll ease into it.
UFOs. You tricked me. You said some news. Now it's just going right to UFOs.
Well, this is news because there was a big press conference right there in Washington, D.C. They had a lot of congressional representatives. They had a podium and microphones, and they had David Grusch, famed whistleblower. He testified before Congress about UAPs. He was, according to him, he was threatened. He had suffered maybe career repercussions, backlash career-wise. But if you remember, during the hearings, sitting behind him was James Clapper, I believe. There were some.
Was he sitting there wittingly?
Yeah, I think at that point in time, he was wittingly sitting there, enjoying the hearing.
Not wittingly.
But so there, and also in that very small room, you had people like Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp, some heavyweights in the UFO community. But now that David Grusch, they put on, I wasn't exactly sure of the reason why they put this thing on, but they came out and gave a little talk, and I have a variety of different clips from this press conference. I'll bring up the News Nation article that might explain exactly why they're doing this. Obviously, they're trying to apply pressure to the United States government, and additionally, the unseen forces behind the scenes that are in control of this information, or so we think. And they're thinking that this presser might do it. So this News Nation was there. This article is from News Nation. A UFO whistleblower says there are multiple kinds of alien life, and there are people in the U.S. government who know about it. Whistleblower David Grusch says the U.S. government is aware of several kinds of extraterrestrial life, ranging in complexity. Lawmakers and UAP whistleblowers gathered at the U.S. Capitol Tuesday to renew calls for greater government transparency, including immunity for whistleblowers. So there's a very specific caveat there I'll bring up. The group also called for the release of files related to alleged encounters with non-human beings and information regarding extraterrestrial life. Lawmakers called for the release of specific records, including those related to the 1996 Valgingra incident, which took place in Brazil. Witnesses to the incident reported contact with non-human sentient beings and said that those beings were transported to the U.S. But I think a Brazilian military was also involved there. Representative Ana Paulina Luna said lawmakers are requesting that the White House grant immunity to whistleblowers who've come forward with information, including the locations of UFOs and advanced UFO technology. For decades, the American people have been treated like children, told there are government secrets they just don't know. So I'll play some of these clips. Because I gathered a few of them from some of the different representatives that were there, and maybe that's better. And so you can kind of hear how impassioned they are with all of this. Let's see here. So I'll start here at the top. This is David. This is, I believe, Rep. Eric Burleson talking about granting immunity to these whistleblowers. Apparently, there's just like a line out the door of people who would love to testify if they could just get certain immunity. And Eric's going to talk about this right now. Now, it is kind of interesting that he wanted to grant this kind of immunity, but I thought I'll bring up the point of contention afterwards.
Some will say they should have used more proper channels. To hell with the safe way. The safe way protects the system. These are people who simply wanted the American people to see what they know, and they deserve protection. They deserve our respect, and they deserve a second chance. And we are at a different time. This is the age of disclosure.
Oh, the movie
Mr.
time.
President, I'm asking you directly. Waive the non-disclosure agreements that still bind these patriots. Grant immunity to anyone and everyone who has already come forward and everyone who will come forward. Open the door and let them speak. Because unless people know they will be protected, why would they come forward and step forward otherwise? It is time that we flip the script entirely as well. It has been said by people in positions that know that even presidents have been kept on a need-to-know basis, that Navy pilots, admirals, and generals describe programs to senior officials that commander-in-chiefs were never briefed on, career bureaucrats who view presidents as temporary help, here today, gone tomorrow. That is not classification, that's a constitutional crisis. Transparency must be the default in the United States of America, and it should be required for those with knowledge to come forward.
So I'll pause it right there. And so what he's asking for is the president to grant immunity when it comes to NDAs they may sign with private corporations, private companies, and that they won't suffer any sort of repercussions from those companies if they choose to blow the whistle or come forward with some kind of information that at that point would be proprietary business information, I would assume. But I thought that if you are forced to testify, if you're subpoenaed before Congress and you're questioned, those NDAs are null and void. Like you can't protect your NDA doesn't cover that, and especially if you're potentially doing something illegal, an NDA is not going to cover you.
Well, that's always the challenge when you have whistleblowers coming out. Like, are they violating NDAs? Is that actionable? And wasn't this the issue with Bob Lazar for years? Is he couldn't speak openly about stuff because it would have been violations of.
I don't think so. I don't think things. I personally never heard that about an NDA with Bob. I know Bob, but so I can call him Bob. I've never heard the NDA being thrown around with Bob.
Well, no, I don't mean specifically an NDA, but like having, classifications and agreements to things. And wasn't that one of his personal, one of the reasons that he personally was challenged by what he was going to,
I don't know.
Whistleblower.
I don't know. I don't remember that, but that is some.
Maybe I made it up.
Well, it is. That point is Lou Elizondo's contention about why he's not more open about certain information that he has, is that it violates various top secret security clearance, and I don't even know if I trust him. But the NDA, like providing immunity from any repercussions from NDA, is interesting. But I thought that would be already granted under Congress, especially during a committee. But then it moves on to Tim Burchett, who, by the way, was asking me for money on Twitter.
You directly?
Well, he sent me a message.
At Mike.
Yeah.
Do you have $8?
He was asking the lowest amount you could give him, I think, was $10. So I gave him 25 spots.
Did you reply and say you can join our Discord for as little as $1?
I did not. I should have. Oh, God, it was a perfect opportunity to sell the Patreon. I did not. But here is
show me a screenshot of you joining our Patreon, and I'll donate $20.
Here's Tim and everything he had to say. Come on, now, Tim. Let's do it. Come on, Tim. No.
Some will say
no. I maybe did I get the wrong one here? There we go. I got the right one here. There we go.
Thank y'all. My name's Congressman Tim Burchett, and I know y'all got up this morning and said...
Here we go. Okay, I got him right here. I got him. Got so many links over here, people. I'm losing links. Here we go.
Dadgum, I hope I get to stand out in the heat and listen to some redneck talking for too long. Well, I'll keep it short. I am a redneck, proudly. But it's a pleasure being here with you. I want to first salute the bravery of these folks standing back here on the back row for their guts. This country was not created by a bunch of meek pansies. It was people that took a stand, and these fellows took a stand, and thank y'all so much. I really appreciate that. I appreciate my colleagues in Congress. I even have to say it. I have to appreciate my friends in the media today. So there you go. I've crossed over the divide. But, I talked to the president about this issue, and he kept his word to me. He kept his word, and I think that's important. But I think we also need to remember, too, when I'm sitting in a skiff and some little punk in a man-bun tells me the president's on a need-to-know basis, folks, that ought to tell you right there what we're up against. We're up against corruption. We're up against a cover-up. This thing's been covered up at least since 1947. Dadgummit, the public deserves the right to know. It's your dadgum tax dollars. It's not about little green men or flying saucers. It's about what are we spending all these millions and possibly billions of dollars on that these idiots tell us don't exist. And then yet we turn right around in the skip and then they tell us they do exist. This is a cover-up. You all know it. We know it. We demand the answers, and dadgummit, we're going to get them. Look, we got one or two bites at this apple. Please be careful about the false information that's coming out of Washington on all this stuff. Trust your gut. You know what's right. You know they exist. You know this has been a cover-up since before most of y'all been born. Thank y'all so much. Let's keep fighting for the truth. And thank you, Donald Trump, for keeping your word to me. And you all deserve to be in that skiff with us. We shouldn't be the gatekeepers, and none else of these jugheads up here should either. All right? Let's get at it. Thank y'all.
Well, one of the most important pieces of UFO information came out during that, which is we have a description of what the gatekeepers of the UFO secret look like. They have man buns.
Didn't he say there was it little pansies with man buns?
Pansies with man buns.
Is that how he described it?
Yeah. Pansies with man buns. Now, I don't like if you're working in Congress, if you're part of the military, I wouldn't imagine that it's part of their code, their dress code to have a man bun. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. Is it normal? Or is the CIA, do you have man bun people in the CIA? Possibly. I would say that's more private sector stuff, but maybe there's a whole legion of men in black with man buns that are in control of this. But I thought that was the most interesting thing. And typically I would say a man bun is worn by a person below the age of 40. Now, maybe I'm off on that. But I think that is a really interesting little piece of information there because we think of like maybe the keepers of this information, like the smoking man. We were talking about old white dudes who have all the knowledge and are crusty and old and are on their deathbed holding on to this information in charge of who can have access to it. But no, it's just a pansy little man bun guy. So my outlook has kind of changed with that. So interesting.
Sorry, he described it as some little punk in a man bun.
Some little punk in a man bun. Okay. Interesting.
We're pounding it.
I don't know if we're not pounding the man bun guy.
Are you thinking he's implying that all the people in charge of limiting disclosure are coiffed with man buns?
Well, I don't want to make a stereotype here, but I will.
But I'm gonna right now.
There are certain types of people that wear man buns, right? I would say, I would say mostly people who are in shape to take care of themselves. That's a stereotype. Also would have a man bun. Maybe more, I would say, metro. I hate to use the word metrosexual because that's an outdated term, but something along those lines. Probably a looks-maxing kind of individual would be more of a man bun wearer. So we're looking at, like I say, I think there might be a younger group of people that possibly are in charge of this. Very pro man bunny. But I'll move on to the next clip here. And this is David Grusch. And I got to say, David Grusch was a bit of a disappointment on this. Not until he was asked questions at the end did he really kind of let loose and talk about some interesting information. But I'll bring this up. Maybe this is David Grusch, maybe this is Eric Burroughs. We'll find out. There we go.
I'm tall. I'll try to enunciate. Good afternoon. I'm here today because my leadership on the disclosure issue is part of my continued service to the nation. I took an oath as an Air Force officer swearing allegiance to the principles and the framework of the U.S. Constitution.
Oh, why'd you do that?
I took that oath seriously then, and I take that oath seriously now. And if this is one of my final duties of public service, I want it to be this: helping Congress and the president restore lawful accountability over activities and spending that should never have been placed beyond constitutional oversights, and to be transparent with the American people. There are a myriad of issues across multiple cultural, religious, and institutional spectrums. The topics.
So he doesn't really go too much. He doesn't really go anywhere with this. He just kind of gives his little speech. He talks about declassified documents that came out in 1971 when it comes to the research of gravity that some Australian physicists discovered. He asked people to do a little bit more research. And really, this is all just one big pressure campaign to try to create more public awareness around this issue of UFO disclosure. But Grusch during his speech, didn't talk about too much. Now, he was asked later after they were just walking away, and reporters did have some questions for Grusch. So I'll play that. And then there was, right at the very end, another interesting little exchange between reporters and David Grusch, or I'm sorry, Rep. Tim Burleson.
You mean Burchett?
Tim Burchett. One of those guys. Sorry, people. Here we go.
How many species? Recent reports have said that there are perhaps 4 different alien species raised. Nordics. How many species are you aware of?
I certainly don't have the compendium. It's a continuum from corporeal bipedal type life to, what I would consider as like sentient plasmoid life. But there are several that the U.S. government is aware of.
Several.
How many species?
So he's saying several that they're aware of, ranging from corporeal bipedal to sentient plasmoid life. Now, he said that. Now, Jason Giorgiani on Twitter said, why don't you just admit that the United States government knows about Nordic-looking people using gray robots and are behind a lot of this? I wish he would. I wish Grusch would just say that the Nordics are using gray alien robots to abduct people. I wish they would, but he's not saying that. But the plasmoid life thing is pretty interesting. That's not that different than the idea of high altitude jellyfish or something like that. But they're plasmoid, or Lou Elizondo say this balls of light. These are balls of light, intelligent balls of light that are able to interact with the environment and people. But then at the end, Rep. Tim Burchett was asked a question about the missing scientists. And this was like everyone was like kind of scattering. Like it felt like the press conference was over. Tim was walking away because it's very hot. It's very hot out there. Tim was walking away.
Well, he had to get back to his car where he lives.
Oh, yeah. He lives in his car.
And he showers at the Y or something.
Well, then I hope he uses that $25 I sent him for some good ice cream at the local gas station. Yeah, the local gas station ice cream.
By the way, roll the image feed real quick.
Oh, yeah. Will. There we go. Yeah, that's it. The man-bun in black.
The man-bun in black?
Yeah. That's it. That is the new Men in Black right there with man-bun. That's kind of what I was picturing a little bit. But they don't
just stand in there.
I guess, they're kind of built. I was actually picturing them to be.
You said they'd be looks maxers.
Yeah,
These
you're
are all
right.
handsome gentlemen.
You're right. These guys are looks maxing, but initially when I thought of it, I was thinking of something like they're looking like twinks. Like you could just break them over your knee if you had to. Like they're not intimidating at all. But
sorry, I took it a different direction.
No, you did. And I think this is probably the right direction. But here is...
Oh, yeah. What's Tim Burchett say on his way back to his car to get his ice cream?
Here we go.
But can you tell me?
It's shady. Y'all are the media. You figure it out. Of course there's something going on. You had 14 rabbis, 14 preachers, 14 used car salesmen disappear. You'd be asking questions. There's something going on. What? Nothing to do with UFOs. I think he's just ill.
What's the biggest wow that you've seen, Congressman Burchett?
He's trying to walk away.
Striking resemblance to Steven Spielberg. I'm going to answer this. But Matthew McConaughey is going to play Tim Burchett in the Tim Burchett story. Okay, I just want you to know that.
God damn it. Damn gibbet.
I can't talk about it. That's the problem.
Burchett for president. Yeah.
I got to go. Thank y'all. Hey, tell your people to call their dadgum congressman, all right? We want disclosure. That's all you got to say, disclosure.
There we go.
He needs to lean into dadgum.
Yeah, he should, and that should be on a T-shirt. But that was it. It didn't. If you're looking at this, there's not a lot of people there. I'm seeing maybe 15 people in the back, probably twice, maybe 4 times as many of press in the front. It wasn't super well mic'd, and it wasn't well produced because all the audio came out on the left side and not the right. It wasn't mixed properly. And so it was not a super professional press conference when you're talking about something as impactful as alien disclosure to the entire world's population. And I get it. This is just a pressure campaign, but I would say lackluster, but some interesting little tidbits in there. Do you have anything before I move on, Gretchen? Anything that I presented thus far?
I just wanted, did they, as part of this, as they normally do, then announce there would be more information coming out in about 2 weeks?
No, but if the cadence is to be believed, there should be more information dropped on Friday. And that would...
Because of the movie?
I'm not saying because of the movie, but this reality is so stupid that it would make sense that the weekend that Steven Spielberg's film comes out, we get more information on UFOs, more salacious information, and hopefully some stuff we haven't seen. But there's been no indication thus far that the administration is moving in that direction. They're too busy bombing Iran.
Oh, yeah, they're going to get right on it.
All right, we'll move on. I got some incredible headlines coming up right now. Oh, my God. Sorry, people. I'm itching my nose, and I'm not on coke. I promise, Bob. Itching my nose, and it's a bad time. I don't know where it is, for anybody else out there, but here in Ohio, it is humid, it is hot, it is buggy. I've already been stung several times. It's just crazy out there. And now I think my allergies are acting up or something like that. And I don't even think I have allergies, but they're acting up.
But you do now.
Yeah. Boy. We're going to get into some news here. I will play this clip. So there was a big trial down in Texas. Carmelo Anthony was convicted over the killing of a young man named Metcalf. And this is a very contentious thing. I'm not going to go into all
contentious to some, yes.
Yeah. Well, just I'm not going to go all through the ins and outs of who did what, but there was a conviction, and it looks like the young man Carmelo Anthony is getting 35 years, and a lot of people outside, a lot of the black community are not happy with this decision, even though, from what I've read and heard, the evidence was overwhelming against him. And it doesn't matter. Facts be damned. People are really upset. And this is what we're going to look at here and listen to. This is a black woman walking around after hearing the decision, and I would say threatening people. Now, this is just like the tip of the iceberg of what's going on. I can't play them all. This is just kind of like a slice of life, if you will.
Where are y'all white people at? If you love Austin, you would be here. But because you don't care, it's funny than a motherfucker. Where's Austin's body? No, I'm talking. Y'all don't love Austin. You don't care about Hunter. Because if you did, you would really stand in solidarity, not online, but right here. So I gotta speak for your white baby. I'll do it. I'll conjure that baby and make sure he tells the real story.
So that's just the 1 minute and 10 seconds of it. But people are really losing their minds. This is crazy. This is craziness. And then there's other people just yelling and trying to provoke violence against other people down there outside the courthouse. It's people are losing their shit, Gretchen, over, like, it seems like the fabric of society is becoming even more fragile than it was before over something that I would imagine, by all accounts, this is a local news story, and it has been turned national.
Well, yeah, they want this to be the next George Floyd.
It does feel like that.
I don't think it's going to get there, but they want it so bad.
It does feel like that it's being pushed in that direction, but the evidence, at least with George Floyd, there was an image of a cop kneeling on the back of a black guy, and like you could understand, like with the imagery powerful like that, but with this, there's no imagery, and all the eyewitness testimony that I read about was all counter to this. Like there's no self-defense. It sounds like Carmelo Anthony got disrespected and he decided to stab somebody.
He had to keep it real.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's what it sounds like. So this is stressing our society over here in America. And this is going to continue to perpetuate. The summer is just kicking off. And, you know,
they really want another summer of love.
It does feel like that, and it's bizarre. But so we'll transition to where there already is a summer of love going on over in the UK.
Well, to be fair, this next story I assume you're going to talk about is a guy fell down and he tripped on somebody else's knife. It could have happened to anybody.
Oh, is that what happened? Because I completely misunderstood what was happening. Okay, I didn't know about that. Yeah, it's over here. And,
what was the meme floating around that's like, what was it? We don't have a lack of free speech in the UK, and if you say otherwise, we'll arrest you.
Yeah, something like that. And that's what it feels like. At least from what I read. I haven't lived it. If we have UK listeners, let us know what it's like. I'd be very interested to hear what's going on.
I don't think they're allowed to write in.
They might not be. Like literally, their emails might be scanned. If you can get in trouble for posting a meme on Facebook, which has happened, then you can get in trouble for writing an email.
Well, and the new one is they want like on-device detection of, you know, anti-Semitism and, you know, just CP crap and all that stuff. And it's just, yeah, you know, we'll just make everyone else check it out because it could be harmful and upset people.
Well, here's the headline here. So in Belfast, African migrant tries to saw off victim's head in the street.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Authorities and the media have scrambled to soften language around the graphic knife assault last night in an apparent African migrant that has left the local Belfast man fighting for his life with devastating injuries. Horrific footage shows the attacker straddling the victim and repeatedly stabbing his head before sawing at the neck in a clear attempt to behead him. Bystanders screamed in horror as the attack unfolded. However, police have described it as nothing more than a stabbing incident involving a man. Now, it's much more than I've seen screenshots and just little video clips. It's much more than just a random stabbing. This was you could call it like a ritual killing, but when you're straddling a person and trying to take off their head, it's much more than a stabbing. It seems personal at that point. Not just some random attack as the person flees. The assault happened shortly after 10:30 p.m. on Monday in North Belfast. The attacker hacked at the victim's head and neck with a small box cutter style Stanley knife. I read elsewhere that it was like a steak knife. So I'm reading different things on that. Locals rushed in to drag the assailant off. Batting him with blunt objects.
They did eventually after several minutes of this going on.
Yeah, I think they tried to get this guy off him with blunt objects before police finally arrived. So this is kicked off. I mean, remember, this is like not that long after the other younger guy that was stabbed by the sheik with a knife that was in
Germany. Well, there's one in Germany. There was one in the UK just recently where the guy was stabbed and the police refused to help him. And he died.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. And then
there's another one in Germany too.
But those are the only higher profile ones that we hear about in America.
Yeah, I suspect, to your point, there's probably been many, many more.
Yeah, we only get a select few that are promoted over here. But this has been contentious. So here is one of the latest. This is from like yesterday. So mind you, this is 24 hours old. Belfast cops brace for second night of riots as victims' families make plea for calm and baby among the 27 homeless after fires. I don't know what that means. That's a hell of a headline right there. But yeah, there are riots. So the unrest,
peaceful but fiery. The
unrest erupted after the devastating injuries by Stephen. I'm not going to pronounce his name, but after devastating,
it's Smith.
Following the devastating injuries from a frenzied knife attack on Monday, with his family making a plea for calm amidst the violent scenes. Here's like a still image of what was going on. That's crazy. His family issued statements through the DUP, member of the Northern Ireland Assembly, member Philip Brett, and said that they were completely devastated by the horrific attack and on our loved ones. They said, "We want to make it absolutely clear that the overnight unrest is not welcome and peaceful protest is the only way forward." I would have to agree, but this is probably some built up animosity and anger. I would have to agree, like the peaceful protest is probably the only way forward if you want to really be taken seriously. But it does seem like some of the violence is useful at times. I'm not condoning it, but it certainly does seem to get people's attention. Among those displaced by last night's violence was a 2-month-old baby, which was rescued and taken to safety by brave officers amid the vile behavior. Okay, so yeah, this is continuing. I mean, they're burning stuff. I mean, it's crazy. So it's almost kind of like their summer of love over there that's kicking off to a certain degree.
Mm-hmm. They want it to be. They really want another one because it's great for ratings.
And then they dispatched the police in Ireland, and they're using water cannons on people now. So that's interesting. I didn't know they still use water cannons for riot control, but apparently they do.
Everyone does that, yeah.
When's the last time you saw a water cannon used in riot control? I'm
today.
Oh, okay.
Just, at lunch.
All right.
Let's bring in our correspondent, Tom Palm, and let's bring in to describe what's happening on the ground. Tom.
Yeah, you can see the water cannon now being deployed into a crowd of, it's hard to say, but a couple of hundred people, many of them masked, that are further down this road. We're just off the Sandy Knolls roundabout, about 10 minutes north of Belfast city centre, and it is precisely the thing that everyone has been pleading with locals to avoid. You can see quite a few missiles coming over, quite a lot of big...
But you're not good with the reporting there, buddy.
He wasn't ready. The guy, he has a thing.
I guess the attacker was Sudanese. I guess the only path forward that the government, I guess, negotiating as a concession is that they have to check the mental health of every person coming in. At bare minimum, to make sure they're not crazy people that are going to hurt the locals. You would hope that that would be bare minimum. Like, if you're going to bring in all these people, and if they don't come from a culture that is immediately compatible, like there are ideological differences or religious differences, okay, put that aside. But are they crazy? You at least got to check to see if they're crazy and if they have a predisposition to outlandish and outrageous behavior, violent behavior. It doesn't even seem like they're doing that. And I think that's one of the main contentions for people is like the basic checks are not being done. and it's not making any place more safe. It's just making places less safe. So, you got anything on that, Gretchen, before I move on?
No, I mean, it's one of those things. We don't have enough information on what's going on here, but I think it is to your point, or most prescient point here, is that we've heard about 4 or 5 of these sorts of things. I'm sure it goes on all the time, just like all the churches that are getting burned down. People say, "Oh, no, it just happens. It's electrical. It's old buildings and whatnot." But dozens, if not hundreds, of churches just being burned to the ground and just not being reported, not being covered because you don't want people to be upset about that. Instead, here's a Disney movie you can go watch.
Whatever you do not type in burning Buddhist temples in Japan. Don't type it in because you'll see a lot of them. Very unfortunate. But it just seems, like I said, the fabric of Western society is becoming more and more fragile. And we're just
it's all manipulated by by what you see on TV and on the internet. And they will drive emotions and manipulate folks to do what they want. It is an election year, even though it's only in the U.S. anyway. It's midterm elections, but there are a lot of, as James Corbett says, Congress critters, both senators and representatives who are up for re-election. There's a lot of local elections. They're going to do everything they can to tie this to Trump in one way, shape, or form. So it will be a constant barrage of this throughout this summer.
You would almost like if you're spitballing and doing game theory and stuff like that, like the groups that promote this mass migration to the West, like groups like the World Economic Forum that really kind of push for this and talk those leaders into accepting these kinds of policies of mass migration, that they're not dumb. And that they would ultimately realize that this conflict, this clash of cultures, would be an inevitable conclusion at some point, and thus turn each one of these countries into almost a civil war kind of situation, where there would be a begging from the population from some sort of dictatorial leader in order to take care of the problem that was created by the policies from the WEF, and that the other elected officials signed on to. It's almost like they're creating this strategy this tension on purpose in order to get the desired government result, which is like a more authoritarian leadership and a crackdown, and probably more far-right policies, I would imagine. If you don't want far-right policies, then don't provoke this kind of situation. Yeah, that's what they're going to get.
Pendulum definitely swings. So we'll see what if this takes hold and if we get a true summer of love, there could be repercussions, and I think we saw that to some extent with the 2024 election cycle being a big pushback on a lot of leftist policies. But
yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
I love it.
I don't think it really took hold. So
no, I'll move on. That's some world news right there. I'm not even going to talk about Iran because is there any point to talk about Iran? I don't think that there is. No, everything's fine over there. It's top notch.
Tippy top.
It's just tippy top over there.
Tippy top.
It's all tippy top over there.
Tippy top. Yeah, we bombing things left and right. We're and also, Gretchen, don't worry. We're basically 2 hours away from a peace deal. Okay.
Tippy top.
Hey, they're going to have a nuclear weapon in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Just the idea of that gave him the willies. He's like, all right.
Well, let's talk about education a little bit. There are many grads out there, college grads. Probably they got done with college probably a few weeks ago, Gretchen, I would imagine.
Well, it depends on what their systems, what their university systems are on for their terms. But in the last few weeks to the next few weeks, yes.
Yeah, they're getting ready to hit the ground running to join the workforce of America. If you're living here, and how skilled are they? Well, we're going to find out
right
here. Yes, here's the headline here. Failing grades soar as professor sees greater AI usage, dwindling math skills in UC Berkeley computer science classes. Well, that's where you're going to want the math skills, is in computer science class.
Well, do you though? Couldn't you just vibe code everything?
A little bit.
Well, I mean, with the release of the new Claude Fable, it's probably more possible.
I got 2 emails about that today. It's like, calm down, Claude.
It's pretty good.
As I call him, Cloudy.
But UC Berkeley teaching professor Dan Garcia taught both CS10, the beauty and joy of computing, and CS16A, the structure and interpretation of computer programs, in spring of 2026. Garcia believes...
Is the class seriously called the beauty and joy?
Of computing, yes.
Wow.
That's great. He's really selling it. He probably named it himself.
I love it.
Yeah, I like it too. I like it. Garcia believes the primary driver of these abnormally high failing rates is due to the vast increase of academic dishonesty due to students' usage of large language models such as Claude, ChatGPT, and Google Gemini. This has got them all in there, and they got the big 3 in there. So, quote, some of the numbers that you saw from a number of students who received failing grades was because we caught them cheating and prosecuted them and are sending their cases to the Center for Student Conduct, Garcia said. But in other cases, it's students who are leaning a little too hard on LLMs to do the work for them. And then at exam time, they just aren't ready.
Well, that's the concern. So a lot of people, I have a friend who is big into this, vibe coding everything, kind of making all these different systems talk. And look what I can do. I can do all this stuff. Look, I got my harness and my canvas and my, what's the all this nonsense he's got going there. But I'm like, dude, you can't troubleshoot any of this. If something doesn't work, there's nothing you can do. And if you had to do this without being able to ask Cloudy to do it for you, you'd be powerless.
Yeah.
So what skills is he really building?
I don't know. And this is the thing that I see on Twitter all the time, is these people who vibe code. There's like a whole vibe coding community, and they feel like they're really productive and they're pushing out stuff. They're pushing out stuff. They're doing stuff. But that's what they claim, but I haven't seen them deliver any real world product or anything useful when it comes to an application. There are probably a few, but it's probably coming from people who already know how to code, understand how to deal with all the intricacies of an application, and then troubleshoot it if need be. A lot of it's just fluff.
I would push back on that. I have seen what I would consider legitimate, they're all web-based, cloud-based, et cetera, usable applications that come out of this stuff very quickly. The concern is that works now. What happens when one of the systems, because, it's a lot of API calls between systems and a lot of getting this to talk to that and pulling information from that to give me a dashboard that shows this information, whatever. What happens when one of those changes? And to your point, they're not going to be able to troubleshoot that.
No, but.
So I would say it's useful now and useful out of the gate, which is why people are so interested in vibe coding, because they get a very fast end product. How well it holds up in 90 days, 6 months, a year, I don't know. But when something breaks inevitably, which it will, they're not going to have the underlying skill set to go back and fix it. What they're going to do is just ask Cloudy to do it for them again. Hey, take a look at this and see what's going, that sort of thing. But it's like they're not really learning the skills to maintain.
Yeah, it's. I think it just comes down to the fabric of society and the younger generation. It's going to go back to that. People, the younger generation, I don't think a majority of them want to work. And they're looking for easy solutions and easy fixes, and AI is in part their avenue to not do anything. It should help you do things quicker and do things more efficiently. And it's been a big aid for me to spin up doom scrolling. And we put out a call last night. We're looking for a few interns to kind of help work with maybe me to develop some more images for doom scrolling, some fun meme doom scrolling kind of images. But I was kind of thinking, it's like I could really use somebody that knows Git, that knows Python a little bit, that's pretty good on the command line to help me build out the Wheel of Doom, and develop more rooms and cool scenarios. And if I had like one or two people that really kind of somewhat knew what they were doing with that stuff, I could show them so many different optimized ways to do things when it comes to using AI. But I got to get somebody who's somewhat consistent and knows somewhat what they're talking about. But maybe the Piss Army, I know we have some coders in there, and they might be way better. I don't know yet. I know there's a few of them in the coding Discord that are pretty good. So maybe I'll ask them. I'll ask them. Few more headlines here, and then I'll throw it over to Cretchet.
Wait, are you?
Yeah.
Are you getting away from AI? Because I have an AI-related story that we need to throw in here now.
No,
but not if you have more AI.
No, I don't think I have any more AI. No, I don't.
People love when we talk about AI.
Listen, this is the world that they're selling us. We have to talk about it. This is the world that they're selling us.
Here you go. Here's a news story about AI. Just in case you might not want to get involved with it.
Okay. You can now get a religious exemption from using AI at work.
Man, I got mixed emotions about this.
Interesting. Okay. Well, okay.
Mike, vibe code this. That's against my religion.
I'm sorry. I'm Amish. I shouldn't be programmed. But you know,
I'm Amish today.
The Amish, they can program things. They just can't use the computer. You know, like the Amish. Like I've seen them. They can work on complex pieces of machinery, and they can actually make circuit boards. They just can't use the circuit boards. So it's weird.
It depends on their specific. There's a term for it, but they're
something. I know what you're talking about though.
Because they can use phones and they can use cash registers and things
Some of them.
at their places of business when they're not. It can't be connected to the larger. What's the term here?
Okay.
This is badly paraphrased, but it can't be connected to like the grid sort of thing.
Sure.
They can use cell phones and there's loopholes for stuff like that.
Okay.
But to your point, engineering, math, science, physics, that all existed before, the invention of the personal computer.
Yeah, in a strongly worded rebuke last month, Pope Leo called for AI to be disarmed. The criticism comes amid rapidly growing backlash to the tech, with countless workers becoming frustrated after being forced to use AI, even when the productivity benefits it offers are questionable. I agree. For me, I've been very productive. I'm extremely productive. Now, a 34-year-old software engineer named Aaron Moss, who works for a tech entertainment company in North Carolina, may have found an ingenious workaround. As Business Insider reports, Mouse has secured a religious exemption, effectively allowing her to skip using AI for her work. Interesting, but it depends on how productive you were before and how you are compared to your coworkers and what they're able to produce. And ultimately, if you're doing something creative, the end result is all the client cares about. They don't care if it comes from AI or not. They just care do they like it and how quickly can you get that in their hands. That's it. So Mouse is a Unitarian Universalist, a pluralistic religion that's rooted in the inherent worth of every person. You understand that? I'm not sure if I understand that religion, but I kind of get it.
Do you want to ask AI to explain it to us? Would that help?
Yeah. Can we get a little help from AI? Maybe that would help.
Do you think this person drafted their religious exemption letter with AI?
Oh, man. Yeah, probably. Let's see here. So in April, she argued that AI didn't align with her religious beliefs, citing environmental and ethical concerns. In May, her employer granted her the unusual accommodation. Okay.
I do not fully understand.
I'm writing my code and reviewing my code by hand, which seems crazy to say. I bet she's awesome. I bet she is an amazing coder. Just 2 years ago, how else would you do it? Exactly. While Mouse may not be a member of the Catholic Church, Pope Leo's most recent calls for stronger AI controls highlighted a growing schism between religious beliefs and a broad intrusion of AI into everyday life. Yes, I would agree. Okay, well, good for her. She found a way around this. She has to do more work now.
Because what does that mean for her assignments, for her? She works for a technology company, so what's that mean for her assignments, for her productivity, for her annual reviews? All these things. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out.
So we have talked about this on my team.
I just noticed on the Yahoo webpage we're looking here, they have a little AI bot I can ask questions to.
Oh, you should ask. Yeah, you should. So this is a Yahoo AI bot.
This one's powered by Yahoo Scout. Yahoo is using AI to generate key points from this article. This means the info may not always match what's in the article because it may just make shit up. Reporting mistakes helps us to improve the experience. See a mistake? Let us know. I'm going to click this button.
Computers broke.
I'm going to put that in there.
Computers broke.
Other. Computers broke. Exclamation point. Send. Got it. Thanks for your feedback.
Yeah, on my team, we've been talking about doing several weeks of no AI, like going back and doing security the old school way. Looking at logs, digging through logs, and stuff like that.
That's crazy talk.
But and the entire team so far is not against it. I'm on a small team, but I think we all kind of realize that it is really easy to become lazy with AI, and that if you want to stay sharp, then you gotta limit your palate sometimes, and you got to do some difficult work. And I can kind of get that. It's like going to the gym. You got to put in the time, you got to put in the effort, you got to exercise these muscles if you want to use them. And I don't know if it's going to happen, but I could see down the line that proactive managers may insist, like, okay, you can't use AI this week. Do your job the old way, and that people are just going to have to deal with it.
Ooh, you can call like a no AI Thursdays,
something like that. Yeah, casual Fridays, no AI Thursdays.
Have a computer problem.
Real work Wednesdays.
Yeah. So interesting little article right there. Religious exemptions. I didn't see that one coming. I did not.
It is clever.
It is.
It is clever.
I mean, we move on here. I might have one more before we throw it over to Gretchen. Here we go. Here we go, people. Why more doctors are validating near-death experiences.
Oh, really?
I think I had this story.
Well, according to an influential study published by The Lancet in 2001, 1 out of 10 patients who go into cardiac arrest will come back with a new core memory. This near-death experience, or NDE, is so vivid and convincing, it often reshapes the patient's view of the world, the afterlife, and their own identity. Unlike fragmented or disorganized experiences seen in hallucinations or delirium, NDE narratives are often characterized by a high degree of clarity and persistence. When researchers have asked, many patients have identified the NDE as the most important moment of their life.
Okay.
Despite decades of academic research on these experiences, little about NDEs has permeated into the curriculum of medical books. Yeah, this is like because they can't duplicate it. I mean, they can. We saw the movie Flatliners, but they don't want to talk about it because you can't measure it. And I think everyone's experience is a little bit different over there, but there's some common themes. NDE researcher Marietta and Bruce conducted a survey of 215 University of Virginia physicians in 2024. While very few of them had pathologizing or dismissive views about NDEs, this survey showed that the main barrier to accepting them was knowledge. Consequently, most of the consulted physicians expressed their wish to learn more about them. So This challenge was not unfamiliar. In many ways, it echoed experiencing working in the field of psychedelics, another domain involving profound and often transformative experiences that remain poorly understood within mainstream healthcare. And isn't that one of the main points that Rogan was fighting for? Is like there's like in a lot of different people. Just Rogan, most recently, as he stood behind President Trump, trying to get mushrooms to be studied, is that oftentimes mainstream, they won't even touch things. Like there's a concerted push to not touch these topics because they're taboo or they're associated with something that is part of like the subclass, like drugs, mushrooms, all that kind of stuff. It's associated with bad stuff. Or UFOs, why the mainstream wouldn't touch it for the longest time, because it's associated with some pretty wacky characters sometimes. So they don't want to touch it because guilt by association. Same with the NDEs. You can throw NDEs in the same bag as paranormal, ghosts, and UFOs. They don't want to touch it, even though it's maybe similar, but not really. To address the similar gaps in evidence-based guidance in the field, NDEs, there was a need to bring together the available scientific literature and provide practical steps for clinicians and others to seek a better understanding of the experiences. So what they're saying is like they're going to start being a little bit more open with collecting and documenting patients' near-death experiences, and not, I guess in like a non-judging way. So they even like. And this is like a lot of this probably could be a little woo-woo for like some doctors. Like they don't want to touch on this stuff, you know?
A little woo-woo.
Yeah, like I don't want to really touch on this stuff because it's gonna wear off on me. If I start talking about this stuff, then I will become one of them. I'm sure there's part of that. The same reason who people just reject looking into anything because they really simply just don't want to learn and change their perspective on reality. But here's is what one of the doctors said.
As opposed to shutting down the conversation, just saying, hey, tell me more. Thank you for telling me. What else happened? So inviting that conversation as opposed to shutting it down. It's also important to validate the experience as something that is real and impactful for the person if they're coming and trying to tell you about it.
Right.
It's also important, again, as a supportive interaction, to listen non-judgmentally and to try to focus more on what is the meaning to the person.
Right.
Rather than to focus too much on the logic or the analytical side of the situation, basically just encouraging the person to find their...
Damn it. Was this a Rogan clip or did you just put Rogan in there?
I just put Rogan in there.
Damn it. I was like, wait, I'm going to go back and look into your list. Like, wait, where's the Rogan clip?
Oh.
But yeah, what they're essentially saying, they're just saying, listen to your patients, which, if you ever had a doctor visit, like sometimes they last like 5 minutes, if that. Like not even 5, maybe like a minute. You walk into your doctor's office, they look you up and down, and then they get out. And if you have something incredible happen to yourself, like a near-death experience after cardiac arrest or some other kind of tragedy in your life, you want to tell somebody. You probably want to tell your doctor. And the doctor probably shouldn't turn their back on you and just walk out and say, oh, yeah, Mike went to the other side. Yeah, bullshit. No, like, listen to me, for crying out loud. Like, I can tell my family and tell my podcast, but it needs to be written down in scientific journals so we can figure out what the heck's going on around here.
It's bullshit.
Now, verifying the anomalous perception. Out-of-body experiences are sometimes reported during NDEs when people often describe feeling as though they are outside their body and able to observe what is happening around them. A subset of out-of-body experiences involve verifiable perceptions. In other words, a patient recalls perceiving something they should not have while unconscious beyond simply memory reconstruction. The International Association of Near-Death Studies published a compilation of more than 100 cases in the second edition of the Self Does Not Die in 2023. I want to read this. These include descriptions of objects and places that were out of reach in those, in those rooms, even if they were trying to look. For example, in 1985, a quarter lying on the right-hand corner of an 8-foot-high cardiac monitor, which the physician found upon climbing up a ladder. Another example was a 12-digit serial number on top of a 7-foot respirator, referred to by a patient with obsessive compulsive disorder. In this case, the serial number was confirmed by the technician. So, if the scientists and the doctors are curious enough about NDEs, they might then stumble upon out-of-body experiences. They might stumble upon psionics or just a whole other avenue of legitimate phenomenon that they have turned their back on for hundreds of years in Western medicine at this point. At least modern, 150 years. But yeah, that's it. They're basically saying, we're going to keep an open mind. That's what they're saying now. I think we're going to keep an open mind.
I think they should ask AI.
Yes. Yeah, why not? Just ask AI to see if this is real. All right, Crutcher, we're going to go over there and see what you have for everyone.
Computer's broke.
All right, let's see. Let's start with... Whoops, I don't even have my graphics up. What's going on here?
What's going on? Bye-bye!
Here. Where'd it go? Uh-oh, we got a problem. Stop the show.
Uh-oh.
No, I fixed it.
Got problems?
We're fine. I got computer problems.
What the fuck's your problem? What is your problem?
Let's go with this story. It's more Bigfoot news. We have some
I've had enough
Bigfoot
problems
sightings.
without that one.
And this is the second, and this has been verified by the BFRO.
Oh.
But this is the second time we've had, in 2 shows, that we've had a Bigfoot story on Fox News. So they're now just leaning into this and reporting it.
Interesting. Boy, this is, let me think about this as I read this. This is changing my thought process around disclosure. Here we go. 2 ladies, a dog, a lighthouse, and a possible Bigfoot encounter on the beach in Michigan.
Oh, really?
Another Michigan Bigfoot sighting. Interesting. Now,
That's right. We had the one there. They thought it was what? They thought it was a bear.
It was
or
a
something
bear
jumping out of the trees.
I wrote a whole song about it. They thought it was a bear, but it was too big, and there was dogs and all that stuff involved. And it was a man and a boy hunting out there, and it was in Michigan. It was a pretty intense story. But this one
is this near the grocery store sign?
Oh man, I want to say it wasn't too far away. Where we also had another incredible song about a woman who was living inside the sign of a grocery store. Yeah, that was a good one too. Another Michigan. These are some great Michigan stories. We'll see if this one is good enough to go up into those echelons of fantastic Michigan stories. Out in the woods, in the middle of nowhere, isn't the only place people claim to have seen Bigfoot and not been able to get a single picture of the creature. We're also
surprise.
We're about to get into sightings that can also take place on the beach at dusk near a lighthouse. That time of day makes the lack of evidence collected much more understandable. I don't know, does it? Like at dusk, you can still get a good picture. And
well, not with a. I mean, yes, if you have a modern phone from the last 4 to 5 years, they have excellent low light performance. They do on-device processing to kind of bring out the highlights and adjust the gamma and the exposure to get a better picture. But that if you have a device like that, you're not going to see a potential Bigfoot. You need to have an ancient flip phone with a cracked lens and some moisture under the screen.
You're right.
Then Bigfoot's everywhere, constantly.
It goes on to say visibility wasn't great, and the 2 witnesses and a dog saw a large silhouette of what was described as a dark figure with a build of a very big lumberjack with no neck. So, okay. All right.
Look at the size of that guy.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Big Sam.
Big John.
Big Luther. Where's Big Jim? He's around here someplace.
The 2 ladies were accompanied by a Doberman named Snoop Dogg. during their sightseeing trip, which took place in May. The dog had been spooked the day before the sighting at Whitefish Lighthouse when they visited the nearby Barb's Beach. When they returned to Barb's Beach in the morning of their encounter, May 19th, the dog wanted to go back to the car. Diane told her sister that there must have been a bear or a wolf in the area because a dog doesn't scare easily. Then at dusk, later that night, the two sisters both saw a dark figure on the beach at Whitefish Lighthouse near a large pile of driftwood by the shore. They could see the dark figure down when a flashing light they were using was pointed in that direction. Oh, so they had a flashlight with them, but no phone, Cretched? Okay.
Well, no, I think they had a phone, but they were trying to use the flashlight to light the photo from their 1976 Kia Serra flip garbage.
Well, regardless, the Doberman alerted them to the presence of something in the pile of wood and started pulling the woman back towards the front of the lighthouse. So I was like, let's get out of here. There's something crazy back there. And then that's when they ran and got the hell out of there. And this is the general area with lots of other reported sightings. And according to the Bigfoot Field Research Organization investigator, I think that's Matthew Moneymaker, there was a search and rescue operation being conducted not far from the area where the sisters say they spotted a possible Bigfoot. Huh, okay. There were a lot of police activity that included the use of helicopters and a dogs team over roughly a 4-mile area in the woods that might have flushed the Sasquatch from there. So they think that the search and rescue operation flushed the Bigfoot out of the woods into a lighthouse in order to kind of wait things out until everything blows over to where it can just go back and go home again. Okay, I'll buy it. Why not?
Bigfoot.
Let me know what you think. Did these sisters see a silhouette of Bigfoot or a big lumberjack with no neck? That's the question. It's only those two things, nothing else.
And if you recall, last show I did an image of Bigfoot as a lumberjack.
You did, yeah.
It had to be a man in a monkey suit.
Could have been Bigfoot the lumberjack.
A Gorgon, a zombie, a vampire, a werewolf, a chupacabra, a Bigfoot.
He puts Bigfoot at the end there.
He doesn't start with Bigfoot.
It is interesting that Fox News is once again addressing. This is at foxnews.com. This is not like one of the Fox News affiliates, as far as I can tell. They may have picked it up from an affiliate, but they obviously republished it on the main site. And it not only is a UFO big, but now they're doing Bigfoot now. Very interesting. Now, they do have a video here.
I did not vet.
That video looks like it is from Ohio.
It's unrelated. And
I know, but
it's another Bigfoot story, but not. It's not about this story.
I want to try it out.
All right.
I'm going to try it out. It's a Bigfoot story, and we got to go for it.
That's the question many are asking in Ohio. Take a look as locals report hearing eerie howls in the middle of the night while spotting enormous footprints. Todd Neese says he has seen Bigfoot, has been researching the creature for more than 30 years. Joins me now. Todd, I'm not going to lie, I'm a huge skeptic here, so convince me. Why do you think Ohio specifically and all the other states where we have Bigfoots have a Bigfoot?
Well, good morning, Todd. Ohio is actually, believe it or not, ranked number 4 of all the states in the United States that have sightings. So it isn't really all that unusual. There seems to be a little pocket of them in them there woods, if you will.
Okay.
Thank you, Todd.
Yourself were originally a skeptic. What did you see, Todd, that changed your mind?
Well, that's true, and I was not interested in the subject whatsoever. And growing up in the Pacific Northwest, like I did, it was part of the vernacular, but to me, it was an urban legend, if you will. But all that changed for me in 1993 while conducting a military exercise in the Oregon Coast Range. I and 3 other soldiers were exposed to three of these creatures observing our exercises.
Well, we talked about this guy in a previous show. This is just
we covered this one.
The interview with him, talking about his military experience with Bigfoot. Okay, yeah, Fox News is pushing Bigfoot now. Okay, I like it.
They're probably getting clicks.
Yeah.
So why not?
All right, we'll move on.
What alternate universe is this?
Let's see. I mentioned I've got a story just for you. I don't know if I can find where I put it. Not that one. Nope. Found it. It's from just a few weeks ago. But there's a video here. Yep. Okay. Local news story about this story. This would have been something you needed last Saturday.
Oh, really?
When you lost power. So you need to reach out to these guys and find out how they're doing this, because this would be a good skill to have.
Okay, we'll find out what I need.
And there is, like I said, local news story about this story.
Men accused of stealing nearly $600,000 worth of electricity near one of NASCAR's iconic tracks.
That's some good news on that front.
That's an incredible amount of electricity. Let me guess. Are these Bitcoin operators? They were powering up. I don't know if these guys look like Bitcoin guys. I don't know.
I like to think that they went over to one of the holes in the wall and they had a bucket and they were just filling it with electricity.
Okay, just going back and forth between their home and the track, just carrying electricity in big buckets.
Big buckets of electricity.
Let's find out what
pouring it into a big electricity pile and they're in the garage.
We'll find out what they're doing.
The employees are behind bars tonight accused of stealing $600,000 worth of electricity.
And Duke Energy says it could have created a public safety risk. Arrest warrants say Michael Klutz and Edward Little illegally pulled power from a substation near the Charlotte Motor Speedway, funneling that energy to an RV park. Both men are charged with injuring an energy facility, money laundering, and more. Investigators say the alleged theft cost nearly $600,000. Klutz and Little appeared in court this morning and are scheduled to return later this month. Meantime, Duke Energy sent us a statement saying tampering with equipment can be dangerous, and the company is working with law enforcement in the investigation.
Well, did they even say what this was for?
Yeah, it said they tapped the power basically for their RV park.
So they were just.
You think you'd notice after the first, $50,000.
Wow. Okay. Let's see. Injure.
By the way, one of the guys' names is Klutz. So
Keith Klutz.
Pretty sure AI wrote this.
Keith Klutz.
He falls down.
Michael Keith Klutz. Yes. Wow. Yeah, you'd imagine that's a significant jump in bills, but you can just blame the data center. It's like, oh, there's a new data center moved in. That's why we're getting charged so much.
Must be a data center somewhere. What's going on here?
Yeah,
we got a leak. Get the bit bucket, put it under that. There's dripping. But just the concept of them stealing electricity, I understand what they mean is that they basically tapped the line and weren't paying for their power. Mm-hmm. But the way it's phrased in the headline is what caught my eye. Was like, do these guys have they're putting it in the back of their truck and driving away with it? I mean, how do you steal the electricity?
That's mine now. That's my power line. Hats off to them that they didn't electrocute themselves in the process and they were able to do it. But
maybe there were 4 of them when they started, only 2.
Maybe, maybe there was somebody expendable on the team.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Hey, Steve, go over and grab that.
Let's see. I wonder what that would sound like. Oh, yeah.
Kind of like that, yeah.
All right, we'll move on. Get into this story going.
I got whacked.
All right, let's see. Let's go with this one. I did warn you. You need to queue up all the Alex Jones clips of him using the word feces.
I got to get feces going?
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's see if I can get...
Because it's time for another poo-poo pee-pee story.
Okay.
We love our poo-poo pee-pee stories.
I don't know if we like them, but there seems to be a lot of news about them.
No, I think the OBDM audience is a big fan of poo-poo pee-pee.
Okay.
Or, as they may say, boom boom.
Yeah, making wet and going boom boom.
Can I make water?
Feces in the fernery. Town's attraction closed by people pooing. I mean, a popular Masterton. A popular Masters...
It's in New Zealand.
Oh, I see. A popular Masterton tourist attraction has been forced to close for a day after repeated incidents of people defecating inside of it. Oh, my God.
Okay.
That's crazy. Can't they go outside? I thought we read a story about New Zealand about people crapping outside. And I could have swore we had a story years ago that they were trying to outlaw, like, outhouses out there or something like that. We had another story in New Zealand about a similar story.
There was one of those in the Netherlands where they wanted to get rid of public toilets because people were just crapping in the streets.
I'm thinking about something from New Zealand, though, but maybe I'm misremembering.
New Zealand probably likes their poo-poo.
Masterton District Council shut down the fernery at Queen Elizabeth's Park on Wednesday, saying staff had discovered several incidents of people using the historic building as a toilet. Oh, you shouldn't do that, huh? Okay. Well, if you don't provide facilities for people, they're just going to take it upon themselves to do what they got to do.
Enjoy the feces and needles on the ground.
Well, there's no mention of needles right here.
That's a bonus.
We've had several incidents recently of people defecating in the fernery. This is a public health hazard, and our teams are in the process of cleaning it up, aiming it to have it reopened by tomorrow.
I fly a jetpack spraying human feces on people.
That's much tougher to clean up. The council spokesperson said this kind of behavior is completely unacceptable.
Men eating feces, drinking urine, and having sex in public.
And disrespectful to other park users. It is thankfully rare.
And one day they're sitting there nice, the next day they're writing on the walls with their feces.
There are excellent public toilets literally 2 minutes from the fernery in Queen Elizabeth Park, and regularly praised toilets a few minutes away. So they got even award-winning toilets there, and people are still choosing to take a crap on the ferns.
Piles of feces.
I am curious about that phrase, regularly praised toilets.
People just gloat about them. They love telling their neighbors about these amazing toilets over there.
Yeah, I mean,
piles
here you
of feces.
You talk about the weather, you talk about sports, you talk about politics maybe, but in New Zealand, Mike, I got to tell you about these toilets.
Let me tell you something about these toilets over there at the fernery. They're top notch.
It's less than 2 minutes from the fernery.
In fact, I'm going to go there just so I can defecate.
I don't even use my own toilet anymore. I go there.
Friends of the park chairperson, Diana Abrams, whose group worked on maintaining to protect the facility, told One News the repeated defecation was revolting.
Reminds her of eating feces.
Quote, "That's disgusting. It's revolting," she said. Okay.
Reminds her of eating feces.
I already played that one. Let's see here. Where else? I think that's it. So the Masterton Beautifying Society in 1924, they put this whole thing together. So there they go. Okay.
We spray feces on people.
I just want to point out, or not point out, I'm going to raise this question. I suspect, being New Zealand, being basically a leftist paradise, they have many, many cameras.
Yes.
They have footage of this.
Oh,
they know exactly who is doing this.
Exactly.
There is no description.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what could have happened in the last, say, like 2 to 3 years that would have dramatically increased the number of people who would need to defecate in public at any given time.
I don't know.
It's a mystery. I'm not sure what could have caused that, and nor can I describe any of these perpetrators of their public boom boom.
We just don't know. We don't have a description. We can only speculate on what type of people and maybe cultural background might find this acceptable to do.
Mm-hmm. New Zealand is also very big on tisting, so maybe they could get around to start tisting some of the feces to determine who was putting it there.
Yeah. We haven't seen, I personally have seen any immigration reports from New Zealand, at least not like what we're seeing in Europe or more traditional Western countries when it comes to some of the problems.
I guarantee they are chock-a-block full of,
you think so?
People from all over the world.
All right.
Exactly.
I can see that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but someone's got to be taking a crap over there.
I'm just saying they are New Zealand often they often injure themselves shoving other people to get out of the way to go farther left.
Yes, I agree. Well, let's move on. Maybe you have some other kind of weird story for us.
No, bro. No.
By the way, new image in the feed there.
Okay. Oh, yeah. The, people stealing electricity in paint buckets. I can see that. Yes, that's, yeah.
Filling buckets with it.
Filling buckets. And it's staying there. It's not sloshing around. You know, that's what the main concern is, sloshing around, losing half your electricity on the way back to your house.
So let's go from New Zealand over to Australia. Just a quick jump over there. And let's talk about, let's go from feces to farting.
Okay.
This is important science.
This is. Hold on. They're just doing a quick check on me. They're just checking my connection, making sure I'm not doing anything crazy.
Do you need to click any pictures of stairs or cars or traffic lights? Would that help?
They were just checking my connection. I don't know what that means, but that's what they're doing. Here's the question. Here's the headline. How often do people pass gas? Now, there's an app for that.
I've had enough problems without that one.
Flatulence or farting is something people often joke about or find embarrassing when it happens unexpectedly. It is, however, an essential bodily function that allows the digestive system to keep pressure within the intestinal tract low and prevents painful stretching of the stomach and intestines. Now, I've been holding mine in for literally 40 years.
That's right. You've never done it once.
Very strong intestines.
Saving it all for my deathbed.
We will fight hard.
Yes, we will. Even though it is normal to fart, it remains unclear what counts as a healthy number. They have a healthy number of farts you can do?
Two? Maybe 4?
A study by researchers from the Commonwealth Scientific and Industrial Research Organization wanted to measure how many times people pass gas in a day. So they designed a mobile phone application, Chart Your Fart, that allows more than 6,400 Australians to log their farting patterns in real time. Okay.
2017.
He knows his number. He's proud of it.
He just starts saying it during press conferences. And then we're going to talk to Iran, 2019.
How many times do you fart in a day, President?
2017.
I've heard it was more than that.
Maybe just
8,737,540,000.
They found that most people, on average, pass gas 5 times a day, with men doing it more often than women.
That's a lie.
I think the women are downplaying it. I think they are.
I think all of these people are down. No, just once on a mountaintop in February.
Just once, one big one. That's it. Just one big one. Now, flatulent patterns were not the same throughout the day. They observed a gradual increase that typically peaked between 6 p.m. and 10 p.m., coinciding with the time frame when people generally consume the most calories and fiber. So let's talk about dinner. They're eating supper, they're eating dinner, and they're having a lot of gas at the end of the night.
It's just massive.
The enchilada platter, the spicy chili, chili con carne.
Oh, yeah, you eat that all at night. Oh, God.
Big, massive dumps.
When we fart, our bodies release a mixture of gas accumulated from two different origins. The first is the air that sneaks in when you're eating or drinking. The second is the gases churned out by the billions of bacteria living in the gut during digestion. Okay.
So you know what I say to that? Dump all you want. I hope you dump a lot.
Well, I think we could probably mitigate a lot of these gases if we just have people eating in a vacuum when there's no oxygen. So you got to go into a completely vacuum sealed chamber with no oxygen, do all your eating quickly, and then get out and go back in, out, in.
Quickly while you're there. You got about a minute.
Yeah.
You're going to pass out.
The swallowed air is harmless and odorless, but the byproduct of the bacterial breakdown and of food contains sulfurous compounds that are responsible for the notorious smell associated with the flatulence. Yes.
I hope you dump a lot.
Some food groups, such as fiber, can often lead to more frequent passings of gas. So can gastrointestinal problems such as irritable bowel syndrome or IBS. Oh, that's what Biden had. I think it's common knowledge that Biden had IBS. I think he's on record.
Diarrhea of the mouth.
Yeah, probably something like that.
Come on, man.
He's
I got to tell everyone that. Keeps on the DL. See, nearly 80% of the participants fell within the range of 2 to 7 times a day. The youngest group of ages 14 to 25 reported passing gas less often than all other groups, while men averaged 5.2 times per day compared with the 4.8 times for women. Okay. Yeah, right.
Don't believe the 5.6.
The number of recordings remains low during midday and began to rise after 6 p.m. Okay, we said that already. We're okay, they're just repeating themselves. Well, this is pretty enlightening. So is this can anybody download this app now?
You know, I didn't try. What was it called? Chart your fart.
Chart your fart.
I get this on the interwebs.
It's be a fun little thing for us to do in the OBDM Discord.
Do you need another intern to help you build this app?
Maybe. We want to see who farts the most. Are we in the honor? And how is it chat? Is this the honor system we're using, or do they have built-in microphones that detect an audible disturbance? You know what I'm saying?
I found one called Fart Map.
Fart Map
is different though.
Chart
here it is.
I use that instead of Google.
Wait, why won't it let me? Oh, is it not available in this country? Is that what's going on?
I got to get a VPN to download this app.
That's right. I'm going to sneak into Australia.
Got to go sneak into a China VPN just to download this app.
Uh-oh. Yeah, I wonder. Let's see. No, it will not come up as a available application.
It doesn't exist, folks.
It says project launched November 15, 2024, now closed. So I wonder if this was, they did all this research and they closed out the app after they got all their data.
Well, I'm sensing that there is a market opportunity for an app developer.
No, it's still available on Android. What the crap? I wonder if Apple's like, get that off our store. We don't want to see you're farting over there.
All right, Christian, we probably have time for one more.
Okay.
Would you move to Minnesota so we can get married there the first chance we get?
All right, I got a story about a priest, and this came out a few weeks ago, but there's a follow-up on this, about a priest who said that aliens are actually demons.
Oh.
And they fired him for that.
They fired him for that?
Yeah. I have a story about a student who predicted the Knicks in the NBA Finals 6 years ago. Let's see. I have a story about Pokemon Go is being used to develop drone targeting systems.
I can see that.
And I have a story about a woman who during COVID they had free money for keeping businesses open and paying your employees and stuff like that. This woman racked up $34 million in fraudulent.
Oh boy. Okay.
Fraudulent fees on that stuff. So
I kind of want to hear about the priest who was fired for saying daring to say aliens are demons. Yeah.
That's my preferences too. So let me know if you get paywalled on this. It's the New York Times. It's okay for me, but they may jump all over you.
Yeah, we'll find out. Seems to be okay for now.
Okay, I'll put the archive in the Carrot Shop just in case you need it.
Priest who said aliens were demons removed as exorcist for Washington.
Perfect headline.
It's a pretty good headline. Yeah, Cardinal Robert McElroy, the Archbishop of Washington, removed a high-profile exorcist on Wednesday, saying his recent statements on aliens and demons gravely undermine the church's teachings. How's that? The ousted clergyman, Monsignor Stefan Rossetti, is an ordained priest and psychologist who served as an exorcist for the archdiocese, a role that involves investigating claims of demonic possession. So this guy is probably like, you know, he would know, right? You would take his opinion. This guy is boots on the ground, but maybe not. Maybe he's too close to it. Maybe he's too close to it.
Designated exorcist for the diocese.
Maybe he's scared.
This is his wheelhouse.
Yeah, maybe they're scared if aliens do come down, this guy's just going to take them all out. He's going to go hunt them down, you know.
He's got all his tools.
He's going to start an intergalactic war. We can't have that.
He's doing the during the first UFO landing. He's doing the Schwarzenegger strapping on all his weapons and stuff ready to
exactly. Go. He's ready. He's been waiting for this his entire life, and now's the time.
He's been training for it.
He leads the St. Michael Center for Spiritual Renewal, an institution in Washington that ministers people in need of healing and deliverance. The nature of potential extraterrestrial life has been a debate this year as President Trump directed his administration in February to begin releasing documents related to aliens and UFOs. The disclosure began last month with the Pentagon's release. Okay, we know all this. For some Christians, the possibility of intelligent extraterrestrial beings possesses theological challenges. Some Catholics and Protestants argue that they are better understood as demonic entities. Okay.
Fires out the window.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Just in case. You
never know. One might be trying to land right now.
Quote, I don't think they're aliens. I think they're demons, Vice President J.D. Vance, who is Catholic, said on a podcast this spring. He did say that. We did play that. Vance is, he's on the demon tip.
Tippy top.
In a live interview on...
Did you say he's on the demon tip?
Yeah, he's on the tip, yeah.
Tippy top.
Try to, shoehorn that one in there. In a live interview on YouTube show this week, Monsignor Rossetti said something similar, although he acknowledged that the belief in extraterrestrial life was compatible with Catholic teachings. He speculated that many, if not most, of these UFO sightings are, in fact, demons.
Tippy top.
They can do things we can't do, he added, referring in particular to moving at speeds beyond human capabilities. Cardinal McElroy, who was installed as an in the influential post of the Archbishop of Washington last year, evidently did not agree. He announced Wednesday that he had removed Monsignor Rossetti as the exorcist for the archdiocese and ended the affiliation between the archdiocese and the institution he heads. Wow, they don't even treat priests who molest kids this bad. Like, so did they just get him out of the church altogether? Statements made by Monsignor Rossetti linking UFOs to demonic presence and the center's recent use of social media gravely undermines the church's very precise teachings on the devil, demon, and exorcism. Archdiocese declined to provide details on which church teachings Monsignor Rossetti had undermined. Of course. There is no formal church teaching on the possibility of extraterrestrial life, said Christopher Baglow, who heads the Science and Religion Initiative at the University of Notre Dame's McGrath Institute. Yeah. Monsignor Rossetti may have overstepped by putting forward his own doctrine as something Catholics should accept. Interesting. Let's see here. So what happened to this guy? So he got removed from his position, but did he get excommunicated from the church?
Reassigned him somewhere.
Let's see here. One exorcist told me that he thought that this person was possessed by aliens. He said with a laugh, aliens. If there are aliens, don't possess people. That's nonsense. Again, it's demons trying to hide and trying to manipulate and disguise themselves. Okay, that's his perspective. Monsignor Rossetti said in a statement that he was saddened by the Archdiocese decision. I ask for forgiveness for any ways that I have not been faithful to the teachings of the churches. I said, referring to the Catholic's authority and teachings. He also said that St. Michael Center will continue his work. So, Monsignor...
He's going underground.
Yeah, he is. He's taking us to the streets.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the what was that 80s? Oh shoot, I'll think of a minute here, but the kind of like the A-Team. Like, if you need help and if you can find them, maybe you can hire Monsignor Rossetti.
Hardcastle and McCormick. Monsignor Rossetti remains an associate professor of research in the School of Theology and Religious Studies at the Catholic University of America, a school spokesperson said on Thursday. A spokeswoman for the Diocese of Syracuse, where Monsignor Rossetti was ordained in the 1980s, said he remains a priest in good standing there, and that the diocese has no other information about his removal by the Archdiocese of Washington. So there we go. So he's still around. They just don't want him talking to anybody about this.
Do you understand that?
Yeah. Keep your mouth shut.
You understand me?
Interesting.
Here he is as our favorite 80s action hero getting ready for his battle with the demons.
Yeah, it's kind of like an opening montage of Commando, but as Arnold as a priest. Getting ready to slay alien demons. He
did a film in the 90s that was about...
was that called Last Days?
No, what was that?
7 Days.
It was terrible. Schwarzenegger. What the heck was that? It was awful.
It wasn't that bad. But we can't remember the name of it.
End of Days.
End of Days. Oh, I said Last Days.
Sure.
Bullshit.
Oh boy. I do see some people in the chat asking about the Discord. The trick on that, join the Patreon as little as $1 or more. You can give more if you'd like. Make sure your email address is aligned on both services.
Yes. Yeah. If your Discord email is different than Patreon, it's going to be much more difficult. Not impossible to join, but just more manual process. But yeah, use the same email, then you'll be able to see the OBDM Discord as soon as you open up Discord. You're just like, hey, there's all the rooms. There's the fun. There's the good times.
That's good.
Is that French guy from True Lies?
Yes, it is.
Turn around. Do it very slowly. Now, dance for me. Dance sexy.
Dance sexy.
Let your hands be a lover's hands on your own skin as you move. Now slide your nylons off, one by one. Now slip the dress down slowly. Good.
Yeah, it was a French guy. Well, thank you everyone for hanging out on a Wednesday show. We'll be back on Saturday. I'm sure more news will happen. I think we covered it all.
No, there's no more news. We're done.
Covered it all. Covered it all. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Cratchit and Shablagoo.
Keep watching the skis. It's time for Disclosure Day.
You got time for
Nobody with a good car needs to worry about nothing. You understand?
You feel me?
Needs to be justified.
Mrs. Esterhaus. Good morning, Mrs. Esterhaus. He's got the mind of a child.
That's about all.
Shablagu. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Until next week. Nanu. Nanu.
Have you seen the movie Pinocchio?